I first heard it on my way home from work. It was late, past midnight, and the streets were empty. Just the dull hum of distant traffic and the occasional flickering streetlight. I was halfway down my usual route when I heard it, a second set of footsteps. They were faint, just slightly behind me, matching my pace perfectly. I stopped. They stopped. I turned around. The street was empty, just rows of silent buildings and shadows stretching long under the streetlights. I told myself it was my imagination, maybe the echo of my own steps. But as I walked, the sound returned. Footsteps, following. I picked up my pace. The sound kept up, not hurried, not rushed, just steady, deliberate. My apartment was only a few blocks away, but the street suddenly felt longer than usual, stretching into something unfamiliar. The houses looked different, the windows too dark, the doors too far apart. I forced myself to breathe evenly. Just get home, get inside. The moment I reached my building, I fumbled with my keys, shoving the door open and slamming it shut behind me. My heart pounded. Silence. I let out a shaky laugh, pressing my forehead against the door. I'm losing it. Probably just a long day messing with my head. But as I turned toward the hallway leading to my apartment, the blood in my veins turned ice cold. There were wet footprints on the floor, leading inside. I stared at them, my breath catching in my throat. They were barefoot, slightly smudged, like someone had been walking through damp earth. They trailed from the door, past the elevator, down the hallway, stopping right in front of my apartment. My stomach twisted. The door to my unit was closed, locked. Right? I forced myself to move, stepping carefully around the footprints. My hands shook as I pressed my key into the lock, listening. Nothing. No sound from inside. No movement. I turned the knob and pushed the door open. The apartment was dark, still. Everything exactly where I had left it, except for the closet door. It was open. I never leave my closet open. It's one of those weird habits. Doors should be shut, always. The sight of it standing slightly ajar sent a chill creeping up my spine. I hesitated, listened. The apartment was silent, too silent. I reached for the light switch, flicking it on. The bulb buzzed to life, casting harsh white light across the room. Nothing looked out of place. My bed, my desk, my bookshelf, everything was exactly as it should be, except the footprints. They didn't stop at the closet. They disappeared into it. I swallowed hard, forcing myself to step forward. Every instinct screamed at me to leave, to run, but something else, some terrible, gnawing curiosity, kept me moving. With a deep breath, I reached out and grabbed the closet door, and pulled it open. Nothing, just clothes, shadows, the usual. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding, laughing shakily at myself. Jesus, I need sleep. I turned away, already reaching to shut the door. Thump. A soft, muffled sound, from inside the closet, like something shifting, moving. My throat went dry. The hairs on the back of my neck rose. Slowly, barely breathing, I turned back. The clothes hung still. Nothing but darkness between them. I reached forward, heart hammering, and pushed the hangers aside. And then, I felt it. A breath, warm, right against my cheek. I stumbled backward, slamming the closet door shut. My vision swam. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely turn the lock. For hours I sat there, staring at the door, waiting for something to happen, for a sound, a movement. Nothing came. Eventually, exhaustion won. I collapsed onto my bed, every muscle tense, my ears straining for any noise in the dark. But there was nothing. By morning, the footprints were gone. The closet remained shut, but I still hear it sometimes. At night, a second set of footsteps, waiting just outside my door.